All right, welcome everybody. Again, our next speaker for the Jumpstart Your Blank Author and Speaker Summit is Agnes Lavlin. And Agnes is speaking on the topic of Jumpstart Your Connection. Take it away, Agnes.
Awesome. Welcome. Having more joy and connection in a sometimes lonely world. And you don't have to be alone to feel lonely. Would you love to dive deeper into what sparks connection? Whether you think you need more joy and connection or not, it is a top of mind issue for many right now. According to Cigna Global Health, 61% of Americans report feeling lonely sometimes or always. And since COVID, this number has to as high as 66% to 86%. And it doesn't matter if you are married, young, or over 50. According to AARP statistics, 28% of those in the first year of marriage voice feeling lonely, and 28% of those married 20 years or more this same feeling of loneliness. Three important clues that indicate you may be lonely are busyness, that was my issue, procrastination, and health issues. According to Dr. Lisa Rankin, feeling lonely is the number one factor in the cause of illness, heart disease, depression, anxiety. Disconnect is prevalent in all segments of society. So let's take a deep breath and connect to the love that we are. What powers the happiness in your life? And what was the happiest day of your life? Reflect on what was the primary emotion you felt at that time. Now, why don't we feel like this all the time? What gets in our way? My story and how pain pushed me to make changes. One day I had an awakening that I realized I had been sleepwalking through most of my life. I am a former nurse practitioner, and certified Theta Healer, emotional healer, Life Mastery Institute coach, higher brain living facilitator. But it has not always been happiness unlimited for me. Just before my 8th birthday, I was sent to live in an orphanage with things. My lonely life became lonelier, and in spite of all these children around me, I felt little connection or desire to play. I found solace, though, in a library of books. Fairy tales caught my attention. Here was a magical way to connect to a fantasy reality of beautiful young girls with challenges and opportunities. I was enchanted. Life was full of adventures that always ended happily. When I was in my 40s, it seemed like I had no friends, and relationship was something that just happened. I was married. I had 2 children, or other real issues. Why was I feeling connected to my life? In fact, it took me a number of more years to realize my life was off track. I call it going through the busyness of life and in deep connection. So I was busy cooking, cleaning, caring for my husband, children, a job. One day I woke up from the sleepwalk when a visiting stranger was the occasion for me to examine what I really wanted in life. It was painful at first. I cried. I was determined also. I said that love was the only thing that mattered. A friend recommended a book, Power versus Force, which helped me to feel that deep joy and connection were possible. The changes did not happen overnight, but gradually over the next 2 years. What changed was me. I so wanted to feel that myself as love. I asked for it in meditation. I released my emotional baggage and my beliefs about who I am and what is possible. I learned and received healing modalities that changed my life. I began to live my life with purpose, passion, and I attracted amazing relationships. My relationship with myself changed. I feel deep joy and gratitude in every aspect of my life, and that is why I would love to empower you to create more connection. I'm sharing 3 mistakes often made in avoiding loneliness and in seeking love, joy, connection. So the 3 reasons from my diagram are unawareness or lack of awareness, limiting beliefs, and a lack of a blueprint or tools. So number 1 is a lack of awareness of the symptoms and causes loneliness. Instead, there is a vague feeling of anxiety, sadness, and inability to take action.
Agnes, Agnes, we can't see your slide. I can't see. I don't know if anybody else can. It looks like you're trying to share, but nothing's coming up yet. Could be the internet.
Mine sharing.
Is it the same slide that you had before?
Mhm.
Okay. Why don't I share it for you? And then just because your internet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So keep talking and I'll go find it.
It's all right. It's okay. So there is unawareness, like I said, and loneliness really is about we are social beings and we need to connect, like Colleen said, to survive, to thrive. So loneliness locks up joy for women, and depression is more common. Most women over 50 think they will have more time to relax and enjoy life. And they deny their disconnect too. So this will leave them stuck and even hopeless. I want to share a moment about Kate Spade, who committed suicide at the age of 55, much to the disbelief of her friends and family. I believe there is a part of Kate Spade in all of us. Kate left this life with a husband and a daughter who were both present the day she died. Comments from those who knew her ranged from shock to disbelief. And the reason I mention Kate is that we often make assumptions of those we know based on outward barometers of success without really knowing what they are dealing with on the inside. My recommendation for how to create more awareness and a vision of what Realize that connection and love is a state of inner being and wholeness, not a passing feeling. Read some books on how to build a great love relationship and connection with yourself. Sign up for my free gift and I will email you a list. And I also recommend Hayes' mirror strategy. Whenever you look in a mirror, smile and say, I love myself. Say this multiple times throughout the day. Mistake number 2. A woman's attempts at happiness never feel like enough and goes from her past, revisit thoughts of her self-worth. We all hold subconscious beliefs of who we are and what is possible. Are we listening to ourselves every day? What are our thoughts predominantly about? Awareness is an important part of healing, and the subconscious mind is said to control 88% of the operation of our conscious mind. It's like that iceberg picture we just saw. The programs in the subconscious mind are meant to protect us and keep us the same. They often prevent us from making changes to our lives that would empower us. How would a person know if she has a limiting belief? Guess what? We and most of the beliefs come from our ancestors. I find them through muscle testing. They are really easy to release once we become aware of them. For example, Therese, a client, she was 63, a divorced woman with feelings of overwhelm and overwork. She said to me, I think men are just jerks and all good men are taken. So why is releasing limiting beliefs important? Limiting beliefs are a form of disconnection from the self that influences relationships, meaningful work, and all areas of life. Past subconscious programs run our present circumstances, and these programs run everything, and they repeat, cause feelings of unworthiness, pain. Most people who hear that they need to love themselves tune it out and reject it. They think perhaps it's too out there, or they already think they do love themselves, but this is their conscious mind. Changing beliefs requires the support of a healer or coach who can guide a person. I recommend Theta Healing, which is similar to hypnosis, but a little bit more. Theta Healing, Theta Healer will help a person discover core limiting beliefs about love, money, body image, aspect of life. And mistake number 3 is that we often have a fuzzy vision of how to create a life that we would love. We lack tools or a map blueprint to create what we would desire and long for. Why is this important? If in touch with who they are, their map to realize their potential is fuzzy. And these people keep searching for the right relationship. Without changing oneself, a woman will be plagued with chronic dissatisfaction, or she could be oblivious like Marilyn, a friend who had 3 husbands, and she is so busy, does not take time for herself in terms of personal growth. She is constantly chattering and has probably a superficial vision of what she is and what she is capable of. Business and busyness cover her pain and inability to make time for herself and love. Recommendations for creating more and jump-starting relationships is to focus on creating face-to-face, meaningful relationships. Perhaps you can talk to a stranger. A stranger is just a friend whom you haven't met yet or connected with. I recommend connecting with people to satisfy a variety of needs and desires. Do not expect just one person to satisfy all your needs. Connect to those who give you a sense of being fully alive. So, a person with no blueprint or with a map or blueprint will be able to ignite the process to create more and completely transform the way they look at themselves. So as long as we look to other people to feel accepted and happy, we will keep searching and never discover the joy of connecting to oneself and others in a way that's evolution of our souls, our happiness. So to me, a blueprint is about creating your life in 4 key dimensions. The mind dimension, our thoughts and emotions, a body health dimension, 3rd, the people or relationship dimension, and finally, the external dimension, which is money, career, anything creative in the outside world. So Anne, a client, decided to join my relationship mastermind class and changed her perceptions about love. She changed some unconscious beliefs and created for herself a deep, loving relationship at age 6. And she recently got married last year. Having no blueprint, limiting beliefs, and unawareness has locked many in the self-same pattern of pacing in a cage. Yes, a lonely woman is a beautiful song lark locked in a cage. So I am offering a special gift here because I believe you may be inspired to think of the connections you create. I want to show you how to create more self-love, worthiness, empower your creativity. So my gift here is the top 10 ways to have more joy and connection today. And it's the link I'll put in the website again. And it's about a short meditation to expand the love that you are, and as well as those top 10 tips. May you always be creating more joy and connection for yourself. Suffering is a choice. May your joy be found in all your creative endeavors. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, give her a hand, you guys. That's great. And you were speaking the truth, girl, right? Who was like, yes, connection with ourselves first and then everybody else. So love it. You had some good comments in there, Agnes. Thank you very much for sharing. And your internet was can't almost, I could make out almost every other word. I mean, no, I mean like, never mind.